You see, if we have any system where the different parts of the system do not sit well with each other, that system will be disjointed, it can cause confusion, it can create friction. And this is the society that we live in. In a way, this is because of, if like a sad legacy of Wittgenstein's teaching, which suggested that it is possible to have some variety of different self-consistent systems with their own truth claims, which can coexist with each other, and perhaps you don't need to reconcile. Now you see, this may have been okay with me, but I don't think Wittgenstein meant this to be acceptable. It should be possible to reconcile variety of different systems at a deeper level. And the disjoint that we face at the moment is as follows. You see, the greatest disjoint we have in modern society, and this is my experience. I go to lots of sixth form seminars and do teachings and so on in philosophy. And I ask the youngsters, first question I ask is, how many atheists, how many agnostics, how many truly believers in the religion? Now, up to the age of about 15, majority will put their hands up because they mistakenly think that belonging to a tradition means they believe in that. That's their religion. So they take their names. But at the age of 16 to 18, they start to move away. In vast majority, when I say vast majority, sometimes 90% of the youngsters, 16 to 18 age group, now call themselves either atheist or agnostic. This is reality. So the youth are showing their displeasure of religion or the status quo of religion by moving away from their religion in droves. Doesn't matter whether you're Hindu or a Christian or whatever. They're moving away from the religion. This is the biggest disjoint that we face. A disjoint which is kind of in a way saying that there is a multitude of religious worldviews, we can put them on one side, and there is this, if you like, a more science-oriented, rationally founded, popularly called secular worldview on the other side. And it is time for us to recognize that majority of youngsters now fall into the second category. This produces the biggest disjoint regarding a spiritual and a secular worldview. Now, you see, unless you address the issue, as I said, wherever you've got any system where different parts don't sit well together, it is going to create confusion, conflict, and problems. And this is what we face. If you open the newspaper, you see straight away the two issues that continue to kind of appear in the newspaper is strife in the name of religion. Means even the different religious worldviews can't sit well together with each other, trying to score points on each other. So you can see, if you like, a disjoint kind of dictating society and interfering with the working of the society. So it is crucial for thinkers to try and address this demarcation between a secular and a spiritual worldview. And this is what I wish to do in the next 40 minutes. And after that, of course, I'm open to questions, and they can be challenging and pointed questions. I'm quite open to that. I'm used to that. So first of all, let me begin the journey by looking at the religious angle. Now, what I'm presenting, you may find quite unusual, because this is not standard rhetoric you get from people of religion. And this is what I'm suggesting. Despite appearances, normally religions are considered to be, if you like, nothing more than a belief system. It's purely hypothesis, really. We have to live on the hypothesis. This is the standard view of religions, that belief is the central word. And science-oriented worldview says experience, if you like, empirical evidence is our foundation. So there seems to be a disjoint. But really, when you look at the religious enterprise, and if you really quiz the theologians or the philosophers of any religion, and really quiz them hard, and say, how can you be sure about your enterprise? How can you be sure about this God chap? Vast majority of them, you see, I'm just exploring this idea of how do you address the demarcation between, if you like, a popularly called secular worldview, which is science-oriented, rationally founded, and a multitude, not just, but multitude of religious worldviews. How can you possibly remove this demarcation or find a reconciliation? Because unless you find a reconciliation, this division or this divisive system is going to create friction in society. And this century and this decade, this issue has to be resolved. Because at the moment, science is winning in a major way, and in fact, almost telling people of religion, we're going to snuff you out. You are the problem and not the resolution of the human condition. We'd rather snuff you out. This is reality. And majority of youth I come across, especially in sixth forms, etc., are telling me very clearly, sometimes 90%, they'd rather be an atheist or an agnostic than a person subscribing to a religious point of view. And then we've got multitude of religious worldviews, so they can straightaway challenge us saying that, look, you guys first sort yourself out. You've got different religions. Some religions have one God, some have many, some have no God like Buddhism. So why don't you first sort yourselves out, guys? All of you can't be right. So sort yourselves out first. Play one religion against another. Straight away comes as a challenge. This can't be right. When you really quiz the people of religion saying, how can you be sure? I mean, they'll give you all sorts of cosmological argument and teleological argument and argument based on miracles and scriptures, revelation. All this will fall by the wayside. You can easily show the weaknesses of all these particular aspects. It doesn't true. When you really push them hard, push them in the corner until the people begin to squeak. A theologian will say, well, I don't know, but this man said so, and he'll point at somebody. A prophet of that religion, or a sage or a seer of that religion. Say, he said so, and I'm just prepared to go along with him because his life is so exciting and so interesting. I'm prepared to go along with the enterprise because he said so. Now, when you look at this person or this prophet of every world religion, see, something happened to them, and this was very experiential. This was not a belief. They did not suddenly discover a belief system or intellectualize, had cups of coffee and worked it out. They actually had an encounter of the first kind, if I can use the language, which seemed to have changed their lives for the better, and seems to change the life of anybody who goes near them. And yet they are talking different languages. So how can you have so many religions? What's going on? Let me give you a Hindu input in this. This is pure esoteric Hinduism. This is not standard Hinduism. This is what I'm suggesting. Look, you have to agree with me. I'm very clear about my language. I'm suggesting. I am saying at the experiential level, every prophet, every sage, every seer of any religion, every religion hit the same jackpot. They had the same experience. And they were struggling to give expression to this experience because they said this experience is beyond words. It is an thing. We can't put it in words. So they've all been complaining, saying it's transcendent. That's the language they use, transcendent. We don't have words to describe our experience. And yet that is the foundation of all our activities, our belief system. We had a fantastic transcendent experience, and we can't put it in words. And what do they do next? They do exactly that. They try and put it in words.